told that they will share in the development. Those that could not be accommodated, or their business could not be accommodated in the mall, there will be shareholders, for the promised shareholding. Then they promised that there will be CSI project will in fact help to support in a way, Gugulethu, so we should not be selfish and look at our interests. This mall is coming to make better lives for Gugulethu community. Schools will benefit, there will be CSI projects. On our side, our business will be taken to another level. There will be more feet. None of the above happened.
Were any of those benefits realized, for example, schools and the community?
But that's the unfortunate part. As I said, we thought as shareholders we'll sit in these meetings and observe the promises that were made. If it ever happened, we're not aware of. As I said, I still must go and fight for the 5% that was promised to us. The only thing that is in black and white is in that court order relating to ownership of the mall. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
And just to make sure, the people that promised these things to you were the municipalities?
Municipality, I would say municipality, I would say they also promised because they were in those meetings. And they were the ones that were trying to convince us to, because we were challenging them that the land is owned by the municipality. So you're selling this land, what are we getting in return? They said 5% to businesses, CSI projects, but also the developer also would be promising that because that's what they sold to the municipality for them to get the land. So that's why I said municipality and the developer were the ones that are making the promises.
Okay, then you spoke a little bit about the regulatory process and how you had to go through a number of processes. Can you maybe just take us through that process and maybe also highlight which part of that process frustrated you the most?
First of all, not knowing anything about construction, I had to ask someone to do the plans for me, take them to, what's the place, in Athlone. In Athlone, then you are told to find the original plan of a mall that I don't own, because I don't own it. Title deeds that I don't own. Then there's a pollution test that needed to be done. It was just a gruesome thing that I think I did not have to go through. They're the ones that approved the development. They knew that there was going to be Chisanyama. That process should have been before them rubber stamping and saying development, what are your tenant, the look of your tenants, what will they be? And then they say there's a butchery braai, So that should be done. I should not have to go through that. I had to go, I think it's in Fort Trekker. Yeah, I learned so many things. Thank you for that. I will thank them. I had to go to Fort Trekker, find the people that do testing, air testing, and see all those things the works. For someone that does not have knowledge or contacts, you will not even want to do that business. Also, the challenge was because the laws and the bylaws are changing every time. And you say, I've been running the Chisanyama for 20 years in this place. Well, now why are you telling me, but my chimneys must be high so much, and I'm saying, but I've been running these things. and this is what I've built, and I've been fine. Now you've changed the laws, now I have to remove this, and you see. So those are the challenges also what we're having, because there's certain bylaws that will be changed because of the environmental changes that are happening, but small businesses are not aware. And when they're enforcing those rules, you find yourself in the back foot because you're not even aware of them.
I think Lilama asked you earlier just to if you can give us a summary of the costs that all this whole process has cost you. I think but if you could distinguish between the legal cost, the cost of going to court, and then the cost of your assets being damaged or those costs, when you are able to give that to us at a later stage.
The legal cost will be easy. I'll just phone at the law firm, and they'll give you those legal costs. It'll be easy to get that. My accountant, as I said, we've done that because we know that we had to go back to court to force them to adhere to the court order. So that was also done to make sure that, that was also done at a cost, because it cost me to go to the accountant to do that. Yeah, Rahman.
One last question from my side. You mentioned that you are now situated in a different, cheaper area, and you also mentioned, but the feet is in the mall. Maybe if you could explain to us what you mean with the cheaper area, what are the cost differences, and then also if you could explain whether these cost differences, the fact that you now have lower cost, whether that makes up for the fact that you're not in a mall where there's feet.
No, I am still at the mall. The reason me staying in the mall is the court order. I will never fight them if I'm out of that mall. That's the real reason. But running a business in that mall, the cost is exorbitant for my kind of business. But I'm staying because I know I still have to fight. I had to, as I said, business, you have to be prudent. I had to open a second business to sustain the business. So I opened another Chisanyama with a crowd. It's more like a lounge, what I used to have. There's music. I can have my events. At the mall, I can have events. I can have my events. I sell liquor, there's braai, there's DJs, there's noise. Yeah, that's what sustains me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. You mentioned Fezeka municipality. I just want to understand. There's Cape Town municipality. There's Bellville. What is the role, from your understanding, and in all of this? What do you understand the Fezeka municipality? What role do they play, or are they playing in Gugulethu? Because they were mentioned elsewhere or yesterday in by another business person, but I still don't have a sense of why would one municipality have a better say over another municipality, or do they have what role are they playing in Gugulethu, Fezeka, in your understanding?
My understanding is, who you know as a developer, you need to find where your project will be rubber stamped. By the time it goes to city council, everything is like in order, while it's not in order. For me, Fezeka, because as I said, I felt that the city should have entertained us more, because the land is not owned by Fezeka municipality, it's owned by Cape Town municipality city. But because they wanted to control the whole process of the development, the only thing that will be seen that is structurally coming out from Fezeka, so this is a done deal. So if Fezeka is saying that, the people means it's okay. So for me, it was more the developer trying to make sure that they get what they want. And higher powers will not see what really is happening down there. And the connection of the developer were more in Fezeka than City of Cape Town.
And then on the challenges that you encountered and the hurdles that you encountered, you mentioned going to the place in Athlone. What does that place do? I could not ascertain so that we can figure out or we can ascertain for ourselves what kind of a place.
When you do any structural developments at Gugulethu, the plans are done at Athlone. Approved in Athlone. So those were when I was doing the Braai area, because there was an additional structure on an existing structure, so I had to go to them.
My colleague says it's city planning. It's a city planning office. I wouldn't know that.
Thank you very much for your submissions. We will take just a few minutes break, and then we will take the next person to make submissions, which, as I understand, is Mapindi's Butchery. So we're just breaking for 2 or 3 minutes. I just want to announce that the second the second person to make a submission. Sorry, just please for a second. Can you just? We've just been told that is it Mapindi's Butchery? No, yes, is it Mapindi's Butchery? The representative from that butchery hasn't arrived. So what we're going to do is we're going to break for 15 minutes and see whether there aren't any other stakeholders who are present and willing to make a submission. So we'll break for 15 minutes. Please have tea, coffee, and refreshments.